Oh my good God. You kidding me? You kidding me? Alright guys, what's up, what's glorious YouTube, the World Wide Web. As you guys can see in Live HD, it's your host with the most, Paul Cantu, or Plan to in this case, back with another vegetative video, if you will. And today I'm going to transform my backyard slash whole corner lot property into a food forest. So as you guys look at my backyard, this is why I need to transform this space. It is absolutely boring. St. Augustine grass provides nothing for insects, animals, or myself, as a matter of fact. And as I mentioned, I'm on a corner lot in an extremely suburban environment. So I was like, why not just utilize this space, create a cool landscape, and have some food to eat in the process? So without further ado, let's get it. All right, my brethren, so the first 3 plants we're gonna put in the ground are all apple trees. All three of y'all. And basically, apple trees need something called chill hours, which is when the temperature is low enough for them to bear fruit once it warms up. And I live in Houston, Texas, zone 9, so it's hot as hell the majority of the year, so I have really low chill hour varieties. I got the Santa Ana apple tree, shout out the general that got murked at the Alamo. I also have the golden Dorset because I love gold, and I got the Molly's Delicious variety. So I'm gonna put all these dudes in the ground. I got 3 varieties so they can cross-pollinate and really help the fruit pop off. So, cheer. All right, first step was to wet the ground so that way I could dig holes much easier. So I used a pickaxe to break through the ground and to get rid of any roots that might be intruding upon the hole I'm trying to dig. Now I mixed vegetable soil with the native soil just to add a bit more nutrients and so the tree could acclimate to the soil that it's gonna be surrounded with. Now, as I started covering up the tree, my puppy ranger decided to get in on the action and was actively beefing with my garden gloves. That fool didn't want none though. Just look at this dude. Boy, why you scared? But yeah, tree 1, deep in there. Let's move on to tree 2, the Dorset Gold. All right guys, second tree is in the ground, and the reason I planted both trees so close is I'm gonna keep these guys short, barely above the fence line, and I almost want them to be bushes, so I don't have to get up on a ladder to like pick any of the fruit. I'm just gonna keep them trim and grab them, so it's basically gonna be like an apple hedge on this wall. Anyways, let's go ahead and get in the third tree. And this one's gonna be tricky. I don't know if it'll go on the ground right here because there is a giant root to this pine tree. And obviously I'm trying to avoid breaking off any major arteries to this big boy. All right, let's go. Okay guys, so this tree was super tall. Shout out Lowe's for the great genetics. But yeah, it's gonna get shortened in the winter, just know. All right class, what's happening? It's the next day, obviously, and the sun was setting on the project, but I did a couple of more additions, and I was adding mulch around the bases to keep in the moisture and protect the topsoil, and then I added these free fence doodads to protect the plant from my dog, because sometimes he does have a tendency to dig. You dig. Anyways, the trees are looking glorious, full of life, and overall I'm pretty excited by the project thus far. Now the next little task I want to tackle is to kill all of this grass in a peaceful manner just so it doesn't encroach upon the trees and take some vital nutrients, and so I can plant some really like colorful additions in this bed right here. So I got cardboard. I think I'm just gonna chop it up, lay it down, throw on some mulch, and we should be good to grow. GI bro. All right, let's get it. Oh yeah, look at that mulch, baby. This bed is looking smexy. All right guys, so this is probably a very strange update to the video, but it actually has been a couple of months since I planted the apple trees in the ground, and as you guys can tell, they're looking pretty glorious, especially this Santa Ana apple right here. It's going crazy. Now, the mulch doesn't look as good because obviously pine trees that drop needles, but those needles also can double as mulch. Perfect. But since that time, dude, the cherry tree has popped. I need to find a place to put this dude. I mean, it has cherries just blossoming on it. So this bad boy definitely needs to go on the ground. And that is the case with the kumquat as well. I mean, it just has fruit coming off it, so much so that it is just absolutely tipping. So yeah, in today's video, I'm gonna add those plants in the ground, and then I even got a few more trees. Got the key lime right here, thornless edition. Got an improved Meyer lemon. I also have a tangerine, and then I have this beautiful loquat as well, golden nugget edition. And you guys know we love gold. The foliage on this dude though is absolutely glorious. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and get the cherry tree in the ground, and then also we're gonna get this little Miss Figgy that actually has some figs growing on it, which I bought today. Let's get little Miss Figgy in the ground. Now, one pro tip to any of you guys attempting to plant a tree, you always want the root ball and the trunk of the tree to be slightly above the ground. That way there is drainage for the roots, and so it doesn't get buried. Looking good. The next stage for this food forest is to line this whole fence with nothing but fruit trees. Now, I need to get all these oak trees trimmed, but one species that does well under oak canopies are citrus varieties. And I'm gonna put this dude right in the middle of a light burst. So as you guys can see, this is gonna be a key spot. It's getting blasted by lights. And then you guys can also see there are other light patches that as the sun rotates in the sky will also move this way. But I think I'm gonna plop it right in here so that way it can get as much light as it can until I have time to get the trees trimmed. Wow, what a hole. All right, so this is kind of crazy, but there used to be a pool right here that was filled in. So I think that's why the soil content is very sandy in this area. So I'm gonna add some citrus soil and a little bit of tree soil mixed in with some of this sand, and then let the plant go crazy up in that little soil stew, boy. All right, so now that the mandarin orange tree is in the ground, I surrounded it with cardboard in case I wanted to break dance, and mulch once again. I'm gonna add a bunch of plants along this wall of citrus I'm adding, but for now, we're focused on trees. And the next tree that's being planted is a grapefruit tree. I wanna give a big shout out to my grandmother who force fed them to me as a child. Traumatic, yet delicious. I couldn't determine which of the two was more valid. So once the grapefruit tree was in the ground and looking lovely, I had to, of course, add a lemonade maker. So a lemon tree was next up on the agenda, and I can't wait to harvest some lemons, have lemon water, lemon pies, and just throw lemons at random people walking by. So then the last citrus I added was a kumquat tree, but if you guys look in the background, I added a lime tree to go with the lemon. You just can't have them not be paired up. But yeah, this kumquat tree is full of fruit, and I can't wait to harvest it in a couple months. Last and not least, I threw in some cardboard. Of course, I had to cover that with more mulch just to prevent the weeds from popping up and to prepare the bed for future planting. Nice! And all right, guys, so it's been probably a month since I last touched base with you guys. A hurricane rolled through and a bunch of leaves have fallen on my clean mulch, and I've laid some pine straw down just to add a thicker layer of mulch. But something to really finish off this bed area is going to be to add a little fence around here. And I just went to the hardware store and I found a very cheap solution to building a fence to put around this garden. It eventually will be surrounded by rocks, but I just need something to create a barrier between the grass and the mulch, so that way I know where to mow, and I need a little barrier to weed whack as well. So let's build it right now. So the wood that I used was like these $4 fence planks, absolutely perfect. They were not treated, which is what I wanted, because treated wood can leach chemicals into the soil and then into the fruit that you're gonna harvest from the tree. So that was a no-go. I then nailed these little posts into the wood and I just stuck them into the soil. Now I did have to wet the soil first because these were hard to just manually shove in. But yeah, I learned to use a mallet on the other post that I added, and this is just a temporary fix, big enough to create a barrier, yet short enough for my dog to hop over and still have a good time in the backyard. And so I thought this solution was absolutely perfect for the time being. So on the outside of my house, I saved the best trees. I have a variegated pink Eureka lemon tree. Yes, the leaves look beautiful on this bad boy, and it produces a pink lemon fruit. That is absolutely wild. I also added a loquat tree, beautiful foliage, striking evergreen, and then in the hell strip between the road and the sidewalk, I threw in some deciduous trees, 2 pairs to be exact to cross-pollinate, and a pecan tree so that way I get some protein and give some protein to the squirrels on the block. Hey, and don't forget this either, guys. I planted a Satsuma orange tree, a papaya tree, and a mandarin orange tree that is fruiting magnificently when I redid my porch. So that's just 3 more trees we have. Now check out a before and after of the backyard. It definitely came a long way, and I'm pretty damn satisfied if I say so myself. Woo! And there it is, ladies and germs. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you did, please smash a like button. It definitely helps me out. And yeah, dude, I just want to be more sustainable, more self-reliant. And this is the first step in doing so, is laying down a bunch of trees. Low maintenance, don't have to do all that much, but hopefully will reap some very delicious rewards in the long run. As I mentioned, I am going to keep transforming this whole area, adding more vegetation to and fro as I go. So you guys stay tuned for more Paul Plant 2 videos. And if you guys just haven't got enough of a Plant 2 fix, there is a whole playlist on my channel that is worth checking out. I love you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I can't wait to grab some of these kumquats in a couple of weeks and put them in my dirty little mouth. Love y'all. Live the dream, eat that ice cream. I'm locked, I'm loaded, and until next time, I'm out. Peace.